Is it safe to rent to Section 8 tenants, right? So, first and foremost, what's interesting to me is that this is even a question. But when I Googled on Facebook, right, thinking about this topic, that's what came up. Is it safe to rent to Section 8, right? So I had to go back and think about it. I live in the city of Chicago. I'm from the city of Chicago. We had housing projects here in the city of Chicago, just like housing projects in New York and other major metropolitan areas that had projects or housing, right, for low-income families. Ours is attached to CHA, the Chicago Housing Authority, and a lot of those individuals transitioned and have Section 8 vouchers. And some individuals that are low income, single mothers, and some single fathers also have Section 8, right? A person can qualify for Section 8 if they're low income or no income, right? So there are people who rent Section 8 that Section 8 pays 100% of their rent. There are people who have Section 8 vouchers where Section 8 pays a portion of their rent, right? So with any tenant, as a landlord, it's important to screen your tenants. My criteria for renting would not be, oh, if this person has Section 8, I'm not going to rent to them. That would not be my criteria for renting. My criteria for renting would be looking at a background check, running their credit, determining if they are currently employed, have they ever had a job before, getting references from previous landlords, right? Whether they have Section 8 or not. In these times right now where I'm recording this video, we're in the midst of COVID-19, the coronavirus. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. Landlords who have Section 8 tenants will get their rental payment on the first of the month come April. There are landlords who have market rate tenants where there was a post on Facebook, a landlord of a 32-unit building, all 32 tenants got together and decided they're not going to pay their rent. Think about that landlord, their mortgage is due. Now, there are forbearances being allowed by some mortgage companies. The property owner has to call into the mortgage company, apply, and go through the process. It's not an automatic thing. But as a landlord, if you have a 2-unit, 3-unit, 4-unit, if you have multiple doors, right? Because that's the name of the game a lot of times, is to people build real estate rental portfolios. And some investors that are building real estate rental portfolios are depending on those rents to meet their mortgage payments and cover their costs, right? And we're learning in this time that large corporations, Cheesecake Factory sent a letter. I'm assuming it's a legitimate letter. They sent the letter to their landlord like, we're not going to make the rent, right? So individuals are struggling, corporations are struggling, even the government, right, is experiencing some struggles, right? So, but again, one thing's for certain, two things are for sure. Landlords with Section 8 renters will get their rent on the first of the month. They'll get their rental payments, so they are not necessarily having to worry about making their mortgage payments. So is it safe to rent to a Section 8 tenant? It's just as safe as renting to a market rate tenant. Screen your tenants, run credit checks, background checks, look at job history, get references from previous landlords. Sometimes you're giving someone a chance that's never rented before. So maybe you're asking them questions questions about ethics and integrity. But in short, renting to anyone is a risk. You risk them not paying rent. You risk them not taking care of the property. You risk them tearing up the property. It's a risk. So you need to interview, assess, and screen your tenants, whether they're Section 8 or not. The great thing about Section 8 is the government makes those payments. Those payments come on the 1st every month. If the 1st is on a weekend, the payment is going to come before the 1st of the month. So it's a little more, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It gives you a little more comfort and security in times like this, where the entire economy almost, it seems like, has been uprooted. And there's just different things that are happening right now that no one would expect, no one really would have predicted or thought about, right? So I am Jamesia Jonay, the wealth creator. I show people how to use other people's money to pay their mortgage, create cash flow, generate generational wealth, and protect their assets. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Illinois, in the Chicagoland greater metropolitan area. I assist buyers, sellers, and investors with their real estate needs. I am a strong advocate for purchasing multi-units and building rental portfolios, but I'm also a strong advocate for having reserves and savings and different things like that. So stay tuned. That'll be the next video tomorrow, specifically speaking to multi-unit owners in a time like this, or just in general, about properly preparing as a landlord, as an owner, as an investor to make it through the time. So in short, is it safe to rent to a Section 8 tenant? It's just as safe as renting to a market tenant, as long as you're doing the proper screening and what's necessary for you as a landlord when it comes to the selection process. Will you get some not so great Section 8 tenants? Yes. Will you get some not so great market rate tenants? Absolutely. Are we going to judge the whole by one? No, we should not, right? So I am Jamesia Jonay. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. There's a website down below. Click on my website, visit, schedule a consultation if you want to have a conversation with me as a buyer, investor, seller, or even a renter, right? I am Jamesia Jonay. Thank you. Watch, subscribe, comment, like. Look forward to your questions, comments, share with your friends, share on your social media, and come back. I hope you enjoy the content that I provide here. It's workflow, wealth, entrepreneurship, real estate, and capital.